Okay, I think we're live. Okay, good morning, good day, and good evening to everyone watching us from around the world. And welcome to today's Cype webinar on integrating BIM into the technical design and manufacturing process of steel structures. Hello to everyone again. My name is Paul from the International Department, and joining us today is one of our technical experts from the Technical Experts Department, a resident civil engineer as well. Diego, can you say hi, Diego, to everyone?
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your
Thank
invitation.
Yes, thank you again, Diego, for being with us today. It's a pleasure to have you with us, explaining BIM and a very exciting theme of of the process of steel structure and how Cype is integrating BIM into this type of environment. So
Yeah,
before we go in depth, I just want to give a very brief background for those people that I think are joining us for the first time about what Cype is, the work that we do here, and what do we do about BIM. Okay,
good. Okay, fine.
okay. So, Cype, we are an engineering construction company based here in Spain, and we develop and distribute technical software for the entire life cycle of a building and a construction project, from the very first stages of planning and architecture to the structural analysis and design, and to the building services with MEP, and of course with the project management. Um, and of course, this is integrated to our common data environment with our BIMserver.center. It is where all of our programs are located. And as a very brief background, what is it? So, as I said, it is a CDE platform where all of our software is available for for all resources, where we can work within BIM workflow. I'm just going to show you very briefly what is it and the website. Okay. So can you see my
Yep.
screen right now, everyone? Yes. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
fine.
Thank you. So if I go to this website, bimserver.center/en, you will arrive in this website. As a reminder to everyone as well, you can register here for free and begin to use and interact with our software and begin working with the BIM environment right away with some of our software that is also for free of use. But I want to direct your attention particularly today to the store where all of our applications are are stored and are housed. So you can see if you can click on any application, you would be able to visit the application website as well as more information regarding it. But for today, I think the main focus is our Steel software. So I would want, for example, go into this software, our StruBIM Steel for our steel detailing, and you will
Mhm.
see all the examples that users around the world has submitted as contributions, as well as the website link for uh, to this particular software. As again, this is a creation and maintenance of BIM models for structural steel detailing. So, like Diego, I would like to ask a question. So working in a BIM environment with Cype, how is it like, or what are the first steps in doing this? Would you mind explaining a bit?
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, you have a button over here called website. On the website, I think it's, yeah, can you just click there, please?
Yes.
I remind you that this is the first step, just to, to interact with the program. We have a lot of resources. We can see what is going on in the company about this software. You have detailed information about the software, learning resources, facts, and technical support. I belong to the technical support, and if you have any doubts or questions regarding to what you are doing, just let us know, and we answer in about 2 days, maximum 3 days. And you have to wait 3 days. About the learning resources, we have a lot of videos and could be made. Some of them are in English, some of them are mostly of them are in Spanish. But as I told you, it's possible, to interact with that kind of information if you ask for it. Today we are going to cover everything that you are seeing in the website.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay. So yes, that's it. Thank you, Diego. So I think with this, we want it to be a more collaborative session for today. So I'm going to ask some questions to our panelist here, Diego, during his presentation, so that everyone could be oriented about how BIM we integrate
Paul.
BIM in our processes. Yes.
Paul, can you just go back to them? Just one step back.
Yeah, of
When you
course.
are going to the store, in the store session,
Oh, the story.
yeah,
Yes.
over there, in the center, on top of the website, you have some remarks about the code. Yeah, over there. So the new release, where we are included the Polish code, the Turkish and Japanese code, which is the latest version. You can download the previous one, but when you are dealing with this software, the best option is to update it, all of them. If you are going to work in CyPECAD, you have to update it CyPECAD. Same thing for Steel, same thing for any other software in this platform.
Okay, so yes, there you go, everyone. I think this would be very useful, as I think people that are joining us are from around the world, not just here from Spain. I think we have viewers from Asia, from the US, from the Americas, and from the Middle East, maybe. So this would be very interesting for them as well, I think. So yes, with this said, Diego, so I leave the sharing rights to you, so you can begin your presentation.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about different software. The main software is going to be the StruBIM Steel. Um, we are going to talk about Cype architecture. Um, what else? Inside this software, Cype, uh, the latest version in 2024, we have another structural part. And beside that, um, I want to show you first something that we must be aware about the codes. Remember that we were talking about codes in our website over here. It's possible to interact with any country. Just look for these countries. For America, we have also, you have to look for the category. You are interested to work in the structural part, and then try to make a search about the concrete structure. You have all those codes. And if you want to look into the, for example, the aluminum structure, that's the codes that we have available. Um, I'm talking about for example, the steel, concrete cold, and steel, cold former steel. We don't have that in right now. Also for, let me see. I know it's take a little while, no? This is just the speed that we have in this office that take a little while. Go on, you can search any country. It could be Turkey, for example. In about the structure, you have the cold form steel. Let's see, we have our concrete. And for concrete is coming. The next version, you will have the concrete code here for Turkey. And for the composite and steel, we have something. Because in this program, on the string steels, we have this code already here. So, okay, so just try to make a small research about what we have available for you guys, and then just start move on. Okay, so um, Paul, do you remember? Do you have this information regarding to the being no the file the how to export the structure in the bin environment? Remember?
Yes, yes.
You mentioned before something about the bin environment, so it could be possible. Well, maybe I have an idea. Let me look at it. I have this document could be suitable. 1 second. Yeah, this one. Okay. You know, you know this software, you have the open flow, but we have several options here. No, we have another software called IFSC Builder. As you know, we have a standard profile, which is IFSC 4x4. But later I'm going to tell you something specific about the IFSC standards, because we are going to work in the steel. So for steel, we have the same family, the IFSC files formats, and we call IFSC M11. This format is meant to work in machines called CNNC, which stands for Computer Numeric Control. And with this machine, you can cut with laser in 2D and 3D, and also you can weld. So those machines will be able to measure, to do the automatization, sorry, and also they can process all their own, they can control their own process. So that computers are pretty cool. So this is a very important file that we are going to work, and is available also in the software. And then we can work something inside architecture. That's the icon. We can do the model. We are going to see an example doing first this software. So for Revit, we have some kind of a plugin that we can export only what we need in our software, in our environment. And for the other software, like Allplan, ArchiCAD, then we have a pretty nice IFSC, so we don't need it. But if you need to clean up a little bit, you can use the IFSC uploader software. So imagine that you have a project, and this project is available also. Paul mentioned that you have to register in our BIMserver.center. So once you are registered, you will be able to export any one of those projects that you have in mind. And also, I want you to tell you that what is Open BIM in this picture. You will see the interactions that we are carry on when you are sharing your project in our environment. Open BIMs extend the benefits of BIM improvements, the accessibility, usability, management, and sustainability of design data in the build assets in industry. So that means that everybody who are going to share the project in our build environment, anybody can see the project and also can ask to be part of the project. At the same time, when they finish the job in a cooperative way, they can produce drawings, paperwork, and what we call, the workshop plannings or drawings at the same time using the StruBIM steel. So that's the main important things. We are open BIM. We call it open BIM because we are sharing the IFSC format 4x4. As I've told you, we have an extra one, which when we are going to deal with the steel structure, which is the IFSC M11. I think this is the most important part. And always when we start doing the model, for example, in open architecture, we export that to the BIMserver.center. One is in the BIMserver.center. You can start working with different software. Okay, so and then I'm gonna show you another way to understand what I'm trying to tell you, which is the sorry, my mouse was getting trouble. There are some ways to work in this environment. Let me go for the English version. So that's the best way. We are going to do first the Cype architecture just to show the model. And now I'm not going to do the plugin, not even the IFSC uploader, and the OpenBIM analytical model. The OpenBIM analytical model reminds me that sometimes we are getting IFSC from different sources. So that means that be aware about this kind of information, because if it doesn't have the analytical analysis, analytical model included in that IFSC, it's not possible to read it in our environment. I will tell you some examples, and like this one, for example, this is one of the IFSC. Even if you click in one of them, you can display different actions over here in the right side. That means that the analytical model is well done, and you can process this in the software. We can use this IFSC in CyPECAD and also in our environment. I have another example here, which is this one. This is the we can export this exactly to our software Cype 3D as well, and CyPECAD as well. And from then, you can do the analysis, and it may be in the software Cype 3D it's possible to do the join completely. If it's not possible, you don't have to worry, because you can export that in an environment and use the software StruBIM still and do the entire process over there. StruBIM still, and we have another software called PsyConnect. And PsyConnect is just made for do the joint solutions, but in StruBIM still, you can do the detailing process. Means that, for example, all the braces on top are going to you are going to classify all the profiles accordingly to the fabricator. So the industry, they might ask you only have this profile you can have it several times in the structure. Just make sure that you are going to do once, and you start selecting the dimensions, the drills, the welding part in the factory, and then you can process this. They can load it. Some part of this part of the structure can be do it in the factory. Another part of the solution can be welded or joined in the site. So make sure that anytime that you are receiving these IFSC files are well, have more information inside. And lastly, we have this, and this kind of IFSC also in CyPECAD. When you introduce it, the amount of time that you are saving using the IFSC is amazing. So it's very nice to know it's very convenient in terms of productivity to work with these kind of files. Okay, so that's the most important part about this. So I'm going to work in sub architecture. This is the model, and with the model, for example, I'm going to get rid of these walls. Sorry. So it's possible, to work a little bit in the model. It's free, by the way. This software is completely free. Don't ask me why it's free, but it's all possible to learn this software in a very easy way. You guys who knows better, other programs like SketchUp, it's almost the same environment. So it's pretty nice to do it. So imagine that this is the model, and the architect say, "Yo, I need to do the structural part, but they are going to show you the walls. I'm going to show you the dimensions, and then from this you can export that to the BIM environment." So clicking here, you can export this to share first this structure. They're going to the BIM environment. They are going to have a file over there, and then you can update the information if you have any change during the process, during this process. Also, if you want to start with the program structural analysis, which is the CyPECAD, it's possible to export that in CyPECAD. So I'm going to save time because I'm not going to do this initial process to export to BIMserver.center because it takes a little time, but just I have in mind that suppose that I did that already. Well, I'm going to show you here. Now we are in this part. We are in the BIMserver.center. We export a model from site architecture in BIMserver.center. Now from BIMserver.center, I send this project to the software CypECAD, even Site 3D. And this is the way. Sometimes the program asks you to log in. You have to look at it. And once it's in the BIMserver.center, this is the first trial. I'll show you more or less the same project, the same model, but in the BIMserver.center. So now you can make sure that everything is available. And now you have it here, the same project. So it's pretty cool, to have it. Everybody can see it. You can share this information to one of your colleagues. And always the software, if you open CypECAD, if it's not login, they ask you to be login. And also if you open Cype 3D, you're not login, they ask you to login, and so on and so on. So going back, to these sections, is missing here Cype 3D, but it's possible also to do that. And then, I'm just what I'm getting in CypECAD is something like this. This is the model, and also you can display a little bit about the model. You can see a little information about the walls, about the beams. You can just select what you really are interested to see. And also, I did just one column, this column over here, because I was using the model. This column, let's see if I got this. The walls. This column is HAB. This is European profiles 280. And the way to work with this model, just go back to the column definition. The software by itself detects the level. These things, the software did it automatically. This thing, the software did it automatically. When you are doing the model in Cype architecture, that's what you do. And also, you can start, introducing columns. I did just one, and just one I'm going to show you. The first one over here, like this. It is possible to even you can use concrete, steel, wood, combination of that, a mix, composite sections, or even generic ones. So it just start working. I did only just one column, but you can continue, according to the project, you can follow all the way. About the solutions, the solution that we have here in the project, and sorry, in general data, we were talking about the codes, remember? So any software, you can select and check about the codes. Same information that we're getting on the website, you can come here, and every software have different options. So you better, find out if it's possible in the regions that you are working according to the code that you are going to work. About the coal and coal format, rolled steel, aluminum, and so on and so on.
So
Same
Diego,
thing.
it's like
Yeah.
everyone can like mix and match the types of codes that they need for their particular like project. Like, is that correct? I think this would be very interesting for like the people that are watching as well, right? Right?
Yeah.
Like they can choose and pick which one is applicable to their own country's standards as well, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And the
Yeah.
software will be like able to detect and apply this to the entire project moving
Exactly.
forward. And that's very powerful. Like it's good to know that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And also, clicking in this global over here, you want it on the right side. You can check the units. You can work in MKC system or the international system unit. Also, you can mix. Sometimes some countries they mix. They work in meters and they go in inches, whatever. In the metallic structure is pretty useful. It's pretty normal, to change or combine codes. Sorry, units. Okay, so that's all about the CypECAD. Um, Now, suppose I'm going to work in the StruBIM still. You see, in bueno, suppose we are going to work now with the program CyCAD and Cy3D. So remember, we were going back, to this, going back to this. So in our BIMserver.center, we have the the model. So in the model, when you are going to work with Cy3D, and you can export that information to Cy3D, and then you save time. You can copy, you can select the profiles, and start choosing, whatever you need, but it's possible. So what is missing here is only one thing. I'm gonna show you just one way. This is the main screen. About the structural part, we have three main programs: CyPECAD for concrete, Cy3D for steel, but also you can do in CyPECAD steel, because we were working with the model and I did just one column in steel. Remember that? And Cy3D is meant to work in, in the space, more or less like a domo, very fancy structure. You can do whatever you want, even a building, whatever. But it's possible to work in Cy3D. It's two big programs. Um, I'm not going to show you the portal frame generator, because in this program over here, in this one, we did it already. I'm gonna skip that for now, but just mention that it's possible to work in that software as well. And going back, to the same main menu. Um, about the civil work, we have the StruBIM box culvert. We have and also one StruBIM embedded walls and StruBIM cantilever walls. The remaining commands or programs are inside CyCAD. So that's it about this part. So imagine that I open already a particle frame and I introduce just one, the first particle, and then I introduce the wind load. After that, we can export that to Cy3D, which is this one. And the way to do the program is automatically they do the load. You can edit one of the loads. For example, like if I click here, that panel give you the automatically that kind of load. On top, you can click on top. You see that this program, and when when you use the particle frame, it's possible to get those values automatically. It's a lot of information that you are saving using particle frame. Even in any lateral way, you can check all those values, and the analysis will be carried on. And about the loads also, the visible case, this is the wind introductions about this particular project, but also over here in the general data, it's possible to introduce additional load cases. So the safe weight is automatically, but the live load, you can add it as much as you want. About this node, we can over here we have only two options about this node. If you have it, even you can include it. If you are going to do the quick analysis, you can introduce two in X and Y, even vertical direction, and so on and so on. Okay, so that's the way to
So
introduce
this,
it first.
so
Yeah,
sorry, Diego. So this like type of the introduction uh, of the loads here is fully customizable, right? So like the people watching at home, when they download the software and start using the software, they can introduce it themselves according to what they want, and
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
program would automatically detect and apply it to like all the properties of the structure. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you
That's
for
good.
reminding me that, because it's really there are several ways to introduce the load. When you are talking about wind load, if it's possible to use the particle frame, good. This is an excellent idea, because as you can see, is automatically. It's a lot of work that that you are going to save. But if you don't want to use the particle frame for whatever reasons, you can start doing it here. You see, you can introduce, for example, dead load, light load, even wind load, whatever, any condition that you are here. Look, this kind of information, the program already did it automatically, but you can do it on your own. Don't worry, you don't need you don't have the particle frame. You can do it on your own. You can set up all those things later. Then you can display here these options. You can visible. You can see. Look, I'm going to do everything here now. It's a very messy job, but with the software, make your life more easier. Look, all those kind of wind loads that you are going to save is really amazing. And also, we have another options we call the surface load. Going to it to edit just one on top, just one of them. Oh, I'm just talking about all of, look, just one of them. You see. So there are several ways to work in the program. Recently, what we have here, when you are doing the analysis, you have the nonlinear combination, which is new. You have it for 3 options right now. These three options is called the NLD, which is the support takeoff or takeoff on supports, and the NLT, which is the only tension bars, and also the APG for backlink calculations for global stability, and the APL for backlink analysis or local stability. That's the new things in this version, but for the other ones, it's possible to check, all the elements. Use the most important thing here to show you is which is meant to work first in Cype 3D. Look, I'm going to the fourth, and imagine that you want to see the displacements. In displacement, you can see all these options, which are really interesting that you are not going to introduce it by hand, but this information will be exported into the program StruBIM still, even in SiteConnect. It's possible to do that automatically. So that's the main purpose of using Cype 3D. It's because we can do that now. So for the simple case, so just displace the wind load, you see, and then it's possible to do it automatically. So when we are going to work with the joints, but that means that everything is going to be so clear. You don't have to worry about this kind of load because they do it automatically. I'm going to show you the complete structure in 3D because we are open BIM. Remember that we all the time we are working in IFSC 4x4 profiles. But talking about the steel structure, we can work at IFSC M11. So in this program, I did the software. I export from the BIM environment. Remember, going back, to this, I was here. I was in BIMserver.center. I had over there the model. So I export that to this program, and now you have it here. When you export it, you can you can see what you are doing. So I can, for example, I can show you that this is the project, and then you can see the interaction about the structure. That's the aspect of the structure itself. And say you don't want to see part of the structure, you can just make sure about the um, the BIM model, and that's the project that we are going to do the analysis. See, one sec, like that. So that's the way to work, you know. In BIM environment, it's possible to do all that kind of features who make your life more easier and more efficient. You know, time is money. So okay, so imagine that you did all the analysis and you want to do the joins, for example, and during the analysis you do the I'm sorry the joins. You can generate the joins. Then when you generate the joins, you can see you can edit one of them. See, let me see. Let me look for one of the solutions. This is one of the solutions. So, you know, they when you have in the bottom to the left side these incidents in blue in color blue means that everything is okay. So you can see about the report. Talking about the report, you can check accordingly to the code that we are using all the information regarding to that joint. Look, all the code check so are available, the tensions, bolt check, even for every bar. This is the cover plate. I'm going to show you just the bar, one of the bars, and you can go inside and search for everything. If something is wrong, you will see in different color, and you must, if it's something wrong, you will see it right away. Um, Perhaps you can verify it according to the specific section of the code what is the problem. Once you understand, you know, what is the problem, you can deal with this inside. And also we have another option here. You can display the entire checks about the joint solution. You
And
can export
that's a
that.
very good like thing to have in our software as well, right, Diego?
Oh
you
yes,
can
it's
you
wonderful.
can it's very transparent. The
Mhm,
calculation formula is there, and even if you don't trust the program right now, you can do it
mhm.
manually and check that it would be the same, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
the
that's
yeah,
very good. And now you can export this. I'm looking at your screen, and like it seems like you can export it into different file formats for like better like file transfers in the future for other people to like see as well, right?
mhm. Yeah,
That's good.
exactly. You can export also to Excel program. You know, it's pretty cool. Also, you can print it and you can add, for example, you can add the logo of the company also.
I think
You
this
have
would
a lot
save
of
a lot of
options.
time for the people that are joining us today. Like, imagine like the time that you spend like manually in putting this in an Excel file and like computing it bit by bit. It takes a lot of time, and I think with this program that you're showing us with Type 3D, it does it automatically, right? It's so much time.
Yeah, save too much time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of time, Diego, we have been around like 35-ish minutes now. So just for you to
Okay,
be more guided in the next few steps
okay.
of your presentation, okay?
Thank you, thank you, Paul. So, so this is the inside 3D that we're doing. What I'm doing. So suppose that you try to make solution. There are several solutions here. But perhaps you cannot do the full job over here. So then you say, okay, so don't worry, we can save this. You can join this into the program StruBIM still and finish the remaining join solutions. And well, so that's another thing. So we go back here to the BIMserver.center. You can first link this structure, and when it's linked, to the first model, because we have here the first model. Sorry, the first model. So once you are in the first model, over here you have the model here. So then you can export it to. You can open the software StruBIM still. And once you open the software, open still, you can download it. So I'm saving time on that. This is the same project, you see, but now we are using StruBIM still. So this is the project called Pavilion, and we have the same solution, some of the solutions over here, but just remind you that it's possible to do here. Even so, you can do the analysis of the all connections, and if even you can select only part of the connections of the joints. And talking about the, for example, the joints. You see, in StruBIM still it's possible to do the detailing of sure, but if you want to see the joint solution is something like that. For example, I'm going to this plate and select all of them. So we start just with two connections, and then you can introduce the plane. And with this plane, you have to define a little gap between two profiles and do the adjustment, because there are several millimeters options in between them, and also the plate on top, the plate 2 on the bottom, the plate 3 on the middle in the center, and also you have some screws on top on the right side. And this kind of process is just straightforward. And one of the key questions here is, oh, I want to buy this software, but I want to make sure that we can do it quickly. What do you mean quickly? Quickly means the experience that you are going to have with this depends, of the capabilities that you are going to do. But practice make you perfect. But don't expect that that this software are going to give you everything in just one click. You have to make a little work, at least. Then you go for the analysis. Yeah, for the analysis, you can do the stress, but remember the load case scenario. So you have this automatically. There are several steps. These kind of steps just to make sure. Suppose you have the 100 tons maximum load, and you divide that load in several steps. You can divide it by 5. So that means that the first analysis are going to start with 20 tons, and then they do their complete analysis and then go back, upgrade to 40 tons, and then 60 tons, 80 tons up to the end. Perhaps the solution are going to be less than 100 tons, but the software do all the entire process. About the loads, so we have, over here, that's what you are saving time, because these things are automatically. But don't worry, if you don't have the Site 3D options, you can start working just with StruBIM still by itself. If you want to do the rotational stiffness, it's possible also to do so. See?
So can you repeat that? So you can also just begin working with StruBIM Steel or Cype 3D by itself, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah,
this process, right? Don't need
yeah.
to like have the one software over the other. It just
No,
depends on what you need. That's
exactly.
good. That's
Look,
good to know
yeah,
also.
yeah. Look, well, suppose I'm gonna skip a little bit this, but talking about the solutions. Let me see. Look, for example, this one. Man, Paul, you mentioned that part. Look, you can do the analysis of the all joints. Suppose I don't have the Site 3D program, so I can introduce this. You can also do the analysis of all the joints. And also, if you don't need all the joints, you can select just part of the joints and say, well, I'm going to do, for example, on top. I'm going to select all of these and do just the stress, and then you see. But
So yeah, it goes
remember,
back again to like the customization, like saving time, like what you need from the program to do only. So like right in that way. So the program automatically would would know.
yeah, Brian knows that. So you can edit right now, for example, that one. You see, and the program did this automatically. But suppose this is maybe too bulky, to see this. Maybe I'm not happy with it. You can start working on your own. You see, and also things that we are, for example, that over here, the bracing over here, some of the solution, perhaps they did it. I'm not sure. Okay, they did it. Look, this is the bracing things. So even if you don't have the software in Inside 3D, you can start working here. And then, start doing the analysis, the cheats, or whatever. Um, and, this is one thing important to mention. And also, talking about this is another example. And over here is possible to do the part. If you want to do for example, this is the report that we're going to have here. You can do the BOQ there about these sections. We can do the assembly quantities, the plate quantities, bolt quantities, weld quantities, anchor quantities. It's just, this is the summary about the area, the weight, the total on the bottom, and you continue. If you don't need the entire structure, you can do it uh, by 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 profiles.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think this would be a very useful thing to see for our guests, for our viewers for here today. Like seeing the quantities and like how quantity surveyor, for example, might be able to use the software in this aspect as well, not only for the analysis but also to get the quantities and like the materials needed for this type of building project. So this software is like for everyone as well, not just for like an engineer, for a structural engineer, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
And
so
also,
may I remind
yeah.
Diego, sorry, that we have a more like around 12, 10 minutes left. So if we
Okay, go
can,
ahead. Mhm.
okay.
No, that's okay, fine. Thank you. And yep, let me see. Thank you for your advice. And also, we have this is a very important question here also. And let's see. Yeah, it, you can do also. So you can complete the quantities. You can make sure about the prefix that you are going to use. For both, we're using B, for plate PL, or whatever. You can customize this as well, and the software can do it automatically. Then, but the thing is something that there's another question. What people wants to know, what is this kind of section, is the kind of profile which are implemented. For example, like this one, different section. Look, that one is also possible. You see, and then about the analysis, the same structure. You must work a little bit. Talking about the efficiency, that's suppose you're dealing with, you start working with this software and you start doing your own library, but means the library is possible when you are maybe having the 6 months or 1 year working on this. You have a good library. You can export that library to one of your colleagues, and then if the join is similar, something similar for what you are doing, so you can export the library, the same join, and just try to make it, so make some arrangements. But all these solutions that you are having this site, you are going to save it. So this is one of the good benefits of working in the library, knowing how to do work in the library. About the analysis, so the same thing, about this, some of the same thing, but I'm going to work, let me show you here, because this is most important. This is a quick way to see the results about the analysis. So about the analysis, we're going to see, for example, the stress strain. I'm telling you that we are working with OpenSys program. Even the nonlinear analysis, we're working with the OpenSys. See, all the models that I mentioned, the NLD, NLT, APG, and APL, those new models, you will be able to check all those things because of this engine called OpenSys. It was developed by the California University, and also, do you know the IFSC M11 was doing with AISC, working together with the Georgia University. And also a good thing, a good part of this program is that you can get, the drawing, which is very, you spend too much time doing that kind of um, drawing. So in this way, using this software, you will be able to do the entire work in a very easy way. This I'm going to show you one of the examples. This is one of the examples. Um, you can provide with this drawing software drawings like these ones, fully details. You see, you can also check some of these sections, verify. You can write everything. Do we have a smart model that you can touch, and the software can detect if you are talking about the bolt, you are talking about the welding, and describe the solution, describe the profiles. Also, the template is possible to do it on your own. You have several options as well. So you can see, how nice we can present our drawings to any entity. Could be the government entity or private entity.
So just to be
So
clear, like Diego, this was from the software itself. Like this was like made by the programs that you've shown us today, right? This is done
yeah, yeah,
automatically.
it's done.
That's a very powerful tool. Like it, you can already see, save time, and a lot of time and a lot of hours just not drawing because the software can and does it automatically. And I think for the interest of time, I'd like to bring up like the conversation now of like we have BIM software, and our software is all very capable of going BIM, and as what the examples you've seen and you've shown today are great examples of like going into the BIM environment. But I'd like to also reiterate and stress that we as a company, we understand the concerns of like normal the day-to-day work of an engineer, of a day-to-day work of any other person within the construction industry. And we do not force you to like adopt the BIM method right away, because we still permit you to do like in the 2D to work with traditional methods, but giving you the option to go digital and BIM at any time. Because I think that's also a good point to understand, because it takes time to make change possible, right, Diego? Like I think that's a very important point to like also share with our viewers, because it can be possible, because BIM is a big thing and not everyone does it at the moment. So I think it is good that we offer this option to go BIM,
Mhm.
but at your own pace.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good point. And also, I want to explain that we work with OpenBeam federal models, which is so important to understand that. If you are join the Vin environment, the guy who owned the the job, that everything about that job belonged to the guy who started the project. Nobody can have access to that. You are also several options that you can allow people to see what you are doing, also to join the part of the project, and also to have full you have no restrictions to interact with the software. That doesn't mean they are going to steal your information from that. No, no, it's just you are going to share this information to that. You can share, for example, IFC files, GLTF files also, and perhaps extra information regarding to maybe documents, things like that.
And
But
I
you
think
see,
that's
now it's
the
done.
best difference of like between open BIM and like the other concept of just BIM in general, right? And we do more of an open BIM approach.
Yeah,
Like
open beam means a lot. It means a lot, because we are really open beam. We can share those kind of files. The common files, which is the IFSC file 4x4, you can export that to any other software. We can import also from all different sources. That's the beauty of working in BIM,
Yep.
you know. So
I think
okay,
with
so
this, Diego, for the interest of time, can you share very quickly this? And I think we just have a few more minutes, like maybe 3 minutes after this. So just to
mhm.
give our remarks. So very quickly, Diego, if you mind.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
that's okay. So the same thing, about the summary checking. You can select whatever you want and have the same kind of reports, fully detailed. And also talking about the drawings, I'm going to go to the sheet. Uh, you can customize this as well. I'm not going to show you because it's really fun to work with this. Really, you can bored, you cannot get bored, because these have a lot of options. AutoCAD, so in AutoCAD it's more easier to yeah, like this one, drawings like this one. If you want to, for example, make another tag here, and look, if I click in one of them, you see this is a very smart solution. You can do this like this. You can make sections like this one over here. You can name it. You can customize, the kind of type of cheat. That's another kind of cheat. Different options. You see, and you have an extra one. I was working with this option. And let me see. Let me go, for example, for another one. Which one? This one, which I like it a lot. You see, you can also rotate it. You want. You can change the background, the color as well. You see, you see,
So
it's
yeah,
a lot of, yeah. It's really
a
fun.
lot of powerful tools, and as well, if people and our viewers would like to try, our Cype representatives will be in the chat. If you can contact them if you want to try our software as well. So I think that is it. I think, Diego, for we don't have a lot of time. I know we want to explain more because this is such a very interesting concept and like the process that we have at Cype. But I think for the interest of time, we have to like finish this right now. So again, if you have questions, please reach
Let us
out to
know.
us or let us know to our Cyprus representatives in the chat. I think they're all there moderating, and to you your person to your Cype email address, Diego, and to your contact, right? You can
Sure.
always reach out to technical support and reach out to the website on behind contact us. You'll find our information right there. And I think with this said, I would like to say thank you to everyone that has joined us in today's event, and we thank you again for your support for our Cype events. And yes, Diego, thank you so much again
Thank you.
for joining me for
And
today's
thank
event.
you.
And yes, thank you to everyone. So we have a good day.
Thank you. Bye
Goodbye.
for now.
Bye
Bye-bye.
for now.